Hi, this is Freddy Krueger, and when I'm not haunting your dreams, I listen to Matt in the Man Cave with his trusty sidekick, Brook Hubs. Thank you. And they're good. They talk about video games and do cool segments. Thank you. I'm Freddy fucking Krueger. And that's... Oh... You know, I was just thinking about when I was a young lad and I would sit around and wonder what I'm going to do with my life. And I would watch the kids play out in the yard. And I'd ask my mom if I could. And she would say, no, because you're different. And little did I know that I would grow up to be a serial killer of children. You know, I would just stalk them. And then they all partnered against me and trapped me in that boiler room and burned me alive. And here I am today, haunting your dreams and terrorizing you. Some of you I kill, and some of you get away.
Do you want to change?
I would like to change.
You want to be a better person?
That'd be nice. Matt, will you help me be a better dream demon? Matt, will you help me be a better dream demon?
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Matt the Man Cave. I'm Matt Howes.
You got it right. That was like the 37th take.
It took a long time to do today. Who are you?
I'm Brook Hubs.
And you?
I'm Lamar Harris, a.k.a. the One Afro Ninja. I'm Lamar Harris, a.k.a. the One Afro Ninja, and I drank too much.
We're here today.
Like the Princess Bride. The guy. Don't even think about trying to escape.
We are Matt in the Man Cave. Yesterday was Halloween.
Yes,
We all
it was.
got wrecked last night. So today is a struggle. If you could have heard the many different times I had to delete and record. We have Lamar talking about anal fissures, and we have Brooke who's struggling to stay awake. It was a long night.
I'm very chemically unbalanced right now.
You got too many. You got uppers and downers going at the same time.
Yeah, I had coffee to help me wake up, water to help me recover, some soda to level out my stomach, and now I'm on an energy drink to balance out the Benadryl I took to avoid the cat allergies.
Good God, man.
This building has a cat problem. This office that we share on Sunset in Santa Monica.
We got a roving gang of cats.
Just like with leather jackets and everything.
You're pretty bad.
That's right, Minecraft story mode. That's what I'll talk about. Sorry, guys, that was a little behind the scenes for you.
Man.
That's pretty much how we decide what we're going to talk about before. We're giving them gold. We're giving them just radio gold.
This is going to be a good show.
The walls are down and the barriers have been broken.
All right, guys, real talk. I did not own an office where we record. This is recorded out of my personal man cave. And I know that's confusing because all the descriptions of our Facebook and Twitter say in Matt's personal man cave. But I have been saying we're in an office. I'm wrong.
Wait, this isn't an office?
I mean, according to my tax paperwork every year, this does constitute as a home office.
Okay.
So I do write this whole...
Way to cover your bases.
Anyways, we're going to go into some wonderful things today because our one and only Brook Andrew Hubs, Brook Super Fun 33, got himself a Crossbox Uno, baby. Yeah, that's right, an Xbox One. Do you know what I used to call the Xbox 360? The Crossbox 2 Pi.
Wow.
Boom. Call that a little geek. Crossbox 2 Pi. Crossbox. Hiya.
I can't even handle the level you're on right now.
That was
I
that
did.
hurt my math. That hurt my math.
But it was right.
All right. I'm just gonna go right into it. So I got the X-Bone. Or the Xbox One. I got the Halo 5 Guardians edition, limited edition Xbox One.
That means there's only so many.
You can see on our Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube page, which I didn't know we had until the other day. I did an unboxing video of it, so you can kind of see all the cool, fun stuff that comes with it, and see what my face looks like while I'm talking, because normally you can't see that.
I'm going to cut together your video and then make a video of us, and every time you talk, I'm going to make your lips move. We're going to post this podcast up, and I'm just going to use you. Just go on.
That sounds like a lot of work.
It sounds like
I don't think that's a good.
Taking on animation here, man.
I'm having trouble getting it out, so it's going to be worse. Anyway, Brook, sorry.
So yeah, I mean, the reason I got the Xbox One was for Halo 5 Guardians, which I beat the campaign for fairly quickly. I did play on normal, though. I played it on normal. I like to go through. I do like a normal playthrough just because I want to see the story, and then I'll go do the legendary playthrough, which is like the highest difficulty.
How long is the story if you did
It's 15 missions.
I think you were going to say 15 minutes. It's about 15 minutes, but
Well, yeah,
the best.
it might feel like that because they focus more on multiplayer now with those games.
And with the story...
But I would say there's 15 missions. 2 of them aren't really missions, but you get like the 10 achievement points anyways. So they're counted for some reason because it's literally just talk to this person. No, talk to this person. All right, go to your next mission. So they say it's 6 hours of gameplay. I explored around a little bit, so I spent about 6.5 hours.
Really milked that gameplay.
It's very, very simple. So I'll talk about campaign first. So this game was touted as being the combined story of Spartan Locke, the new Spartan, and Master Chief, the protagonist from the previous 4 Halo games. And that was a lie. This is...
I feel betrayed.
The cake is a lie.
This is Spartan Locke's game. I tallied them up. 15 missions... 3 of them are Master Chief missions. 12 are Spartan Locke missions.
Yep.
Is that like Pop and Lock?
Yes. Well, that's racist.
Is it?
As an African American, I did not feel hatred nor anger. So I think it's okay.
I'm actually racially offended that you assumed that his racism was targeted at African Americans.
Do you know anybody else who pops and then locks?
White people from the 80s?
Good point. Anyway.
I don't know. Fans, submit your responses. Was it racist?
We have a poll.
Whoa! You do not!
You can do a poll
Oh my God.
on Twitter now. I'll just put up a poll real quick.
No!
So, but getting back on track, the Halo 5 campaign suffers from the same problems that Halo 2's campaign did, because that's the only other game where they split up the story between 2 protagonists. So what we get is, instead of a full story, is we get 2 like half stories.
Cool. Or 2 like quarter stories, because half the story is still being written for the next Halo game.
Yeah. It's got like that Halo 2 ending also, like,
Yeah.
ready to finish fight.
this fight.
Yeah.
See ya in 3 years or so.
So from the campaign perspective for me, and as someone who's really into the story, I feel like the stories get worse with each Halo. It's still enjoyable, but
Well, you know, they
it just doesn't feel like they put as much effort into it
They
anymore.
set the trend for online multiplayer Halo. Like, Halo 1 was local multiplayer, like the highest fucking game that was out there.
Right.
And so they're gonna say, okay, well, we make a shit ton of money, and most people just give a shit. There are people who don't even play the story. So there's people who are just sitting there like, I like immediately open in the box. Now I'm level, I don't know how you level in 5, but like, so they're probably just like, well, why not give a story for a little bit of it, but make most of it focused on designing amazing. And they did some new stuff with the multiplayer, right?
They did.
Yeah.
I had one other thing I was going to say about campaign, but I can't remember what
I'm
it was
sorry.
now. No, it's fine.
The problem with stories of like multiple stuff, like 5, like they've probably ran out of like Master Chief. Now we have to make a new guy just so we can keep making money. So
Oh, I remember what it was.
there we go.
Good job. Thanks. Lamar the filibuster.
So, I don't know if I've ranted about it on here because this isn't as video games related, but like when Disney bought Star Wars, they said we're only going to respect continuity from the movies and the TV shows, and we're going to throw out all the books and everything like that. What Halo does, even though it's switched companies now,
It's not
is
Bungie anymore?
well, it's 343 Industries,
Okay.
which spawned out of Bungie. So it's not like a company took it over for them. It was people from Bungie that just split it off. What they do is they respect all the books and tie-in material. So, like, there's characters in this game who've been around in the books since Halo 1 came out. And they're, like, true to the characters and true to the events of those things. I think that's really cool as someone who has read some of the books that, you know, I don't have to work on 2 levels of continuity. I get that full story.
Oh, sorry.
So I can see that I'm boring, Matt.
It wasn't a yawn. It was a burp. Acid reflux.
I'm aggressively boring, Matt.
My yawn was so powerful it forced gas from my body. No, I'm digging this, bro. Talk some more about it. Fuck if I care. You want to fight about it?
So here's a brief 45-minute recap of the Halo
Well, wake me up
history.
after.
I'm going to walk you through the whole campaign in the amount of time it takes to play the campaign.
I'm going to tell you the backstory in the progression of the games in order of release and tie-in material. No, I'm just kidding. I'll move on to multiplayer. Multiplayer's new. I've played a little. I've tried to play each of the modes of multiplayer. There's some new types of gameplay, and I can't remember what it's called. It's like a fighting arena kind of style thing.
Yeah.
A lot of the new modes are like capture the flag and
Hold on a second.
technical difficulties.
Keep going, Brook.
What?
Oh, I mean everything's fine.
There's no problems here.
Just
Best podcast ever.
Dude, this podcast is.
Lamar grabbed the mic like he was gonna start freestyling.
He just lifts the mic up out of its stand. It was like, all right, boys, I'm ready to go. I should have just made you hold it for the rest of the podcast.
I was ready. I was hashtag sorry.
This is the best.
We're doing well,
We
guys.
should just do hungover all the time. Actually, I'm pretty sure I have done a lot of these hungover.
At least 2 episodes
Yeah.
of the hangover podcasts. That's what we get for doing them on Sunday mornings or early afternoons.
Or whatever.
So the biggest change for multiplayer is there's requisition points now, and you earn requisition points through your gameplay in multiplayer based on like how well you do, like headshots, kill to death ratios, stuff like that. And when you get the more requisition points you get, you can buy requisition packs, and then when you go into certain multiplayer modes, you have these points and these packs that you can unlock special items with that you can use to spawn, but it'll eat out a certain number of like allotted points that you have in the game. So like every game you'll start with a pistol and a rifle, but if you have like you've built up a lot of points and you're doing well in the game, you can buy essentially in game like a better weapon.
To start off with.
Yeah.
Yeah, that wasn't a feature in the older ones, right?
No.
You just had that fucking rifle.
They had some they
pistol.
had like not random but like special requisitions in some of the gameplays where if you did well enough they'd be like, all right, pick one of these 3 and this thing will shoot down and land next to you. But in this one, instead based on your performance when you do well, you can choose to spawn just once, not like the rest of the game.
You earned
with a
it.
cool gun. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's new, so I'm just getting used to it still. And if you're impatient, you can buy requisition packs. They did make microtransactions for it.
Hey, Lamar.
But you can't use them any faster in gameplay. You still have to wait to do well to earn like the right to use them. if
Wait,
that
so
makes
then what
say-
the fuck's the point? Oh, I guess.
Oh yeah, so
You
like
can-
yeah.
okay.
So instead of building up points and buying packs, you can buy packs, but then to use them in game, it just
So you still have to
perform.
earn the ability to
Yeah.
break the game.
So in other words, you're reserving. You're basically saying I anticipate I'm going to get these. I just want to make sure I have the points for them because I'm stupid.
pretty much.
Pretty much.
Microtransactions are for losers, right?
Yeah!
Right.
Down with micros.
So then the traditional multiplayer is all the arena stuff. It's like Slayer, Team Slayer, Capture the Flag. Although they have a different name for it now, I can't remember. Oh, SWAT, which is like the headshots or instant kills, and those are a bit more balanced because I'll shoot someone in the head like 5 times in regular mode and
They
be
have
like,
a
"How come
shield.
they're not dead?" And then they shoot me once, and I'm like, "What the fuck?"
It wouldn't be a
I'm
good
dead.
energy shield if it didn't cover the head very well. It's just completely normal except for the head.
Well, apparently my shield doesn't work as well then.
you want
This
to
is
tell
bullshit.
Do you want to tell him how the guy who announces all the games really phoned it
Okay.
in
So
for this
like,
one?
I feel like the guy who goes like Slayer in all the other games, it sounds just like that in all the other games.
I don't know why they
they'd be
didn't
like,
just use the existing
I
bucket
know,
of
because
audio.
it's great. You're so used to it. You start a game and they go Slayer or Capture the Flag.
It's like hard. It's like, yeah.
And so
pretty good.
it sounds like the same guy who didn't like smoke an entire pack of cigarettes before he started recording because his voice is much clearer. And he, instead of going Slayer, he goes Slayer.
Yeah. Like,
Oh my god!
It's seriously, it's like he really phoned it in. Like he was like, they're like, hey, Bob, whatever guy who does the voices. That's it. It's just his whole job is just those phrases. They're like, hey, buddy, we need you to do it again. They're like, really? Another one? All right, Slayer, Capture the Flag. All right. Sounds very weak.
And then the
Slayer.
yeah, it's lame. But then the other kind of multiplayer is the Warzone mode, which is basically 2 giant teams. It's a big team battle from the previous games. But instead of just being 2 giant teams, you have objectives. Like there's 5 bases. There's each of you has a home base, and there's 3 out in the middle of the field to capture, and you have to pretty much take control of all 3 to attack the other base. And there's AIs that come out too that you can earn points by beating them. And so it's whoever captures all the bases or gets to 1,000 points first.
We
win.
thought it was just a player who was not. Like when we first saw one of the player AIs, I'm like, why is that guy just standing in the corner every time I saw? And we're like, oh, okay, this is computers that are waiting to defend.
If you want to learn more about Requisition and the Warzone, there's a fun video. I don't know where it is online because I got to it from my Xbox
internet.
One. Yeah. And it's
That's where it is.
what's his name? Guy who played Ron Swanson in Parks and
Nick
Rec.
Offerman.
Nick Offerman. Nick Offerman voices like a Spartan telling you about the new stuff in the game. And it's like a really cheaply animated, like a kid drew this animation style. It's really funny.
We'll throw a link to it on our Facebook page.
Yeah, I'll find
when we
it.
find it. Because I like Nick Offerman. I think he's funny.
But yes, Halo 5.
In a
Guardians.
Guardians.
Looking forward to seeing where the fuck the story goes in 3 years. And
I think we've all been looking forward to see where the story goes since the end of 2. where are you going with this, old Bungie old pal?
I have enjoyed myself so far, but I do feel a bit let down by it, unfortunately.
Well, it's such a short campaign. You're talking about the campaign, right?
And multiplayer to
Yeah.
an extent too.
It doesn't look like they polished it either. Like
Yeah,
I was
it
watching
seems like
you.
they just tried to make it more complex, and they got rid of a lot of the things that I liked about multiplayer. And I feel like, and maybe it's because I haven't played online multiplayer for Halo in a few years, because I don't play multiplayer that often. I used to, but
grind.
so maybe I have gotten a little bit worse. But I feel myself getting better. It's still just like I killed someone, I died. Kill someone, I died. Kill someone, I died. And it just goes by so fast. It's like, why am I even spending these requisition points to get a good gun if I run out with them? Like, fuck yeah, I got a shotgun. Bam,
Done.
I got shot in the head. Like as soon as I left the spawn. So
Nice.
that does it for me for Halo 5. I did finish Tomb Raider, but I need to catch my breath because I'm about to pass out. And we got I got the Walking Dead Telltale
It was
season
free.
1. It came
Season
free
1.
with gold.
No, the last day to get it was yesterday. So
Yeah.
sorry, fellas.
But yeah, so I'll probably check that out here this week.
Cool.
So we'll come back for Tomb Raider when you guys talk.
Just know every decision you'll make in that game is going to be the wrong one.
Yeah, I've played through it 2 different ways, and no matter what, you're just like, shit, I should have. Even if you've done that, you're like, I should have done the other one. Lamar, Lamo,
What's up?
what you got for me, boy?
Sorry, coughing in the mic.
That's actually that's good.
Good.
We like that here.
Very good.
We're all about reality at this podcast.
I burped.
You did.
I didn't even
Right.
use. I have a cough button. I didn't even use the cough button.
I guess I'll talk about how I'm still going through Arkham Knight, which by far is turning into my favorite of the recent Batman games, especially of the Batman Arkham style games, because it lost me a lot with the previous Arkham games because it became repetitive.
Origins.
Origins lost me, and there was one before that.
City.
City.
Is
Oh,
Arkham, is Arkham
did you like the
Asylum,
first one, the
Arkham
Asylum?
I liked Asylum. I liked the one with Hugo Strange.
And
That
then
was
it-
City.
Okay, that was
Yeah.
silly.
And then-
silly.
That was
I guess.
silly.
Yeah, I guess it was
Arkham
Origins.
Philly.
I guess it was just Origins because I think it was the same thing as City. It's just repurposed it. Okay,
Yeah.
City almost made me lose my entire faith in the Batman series because it was literally the same game and it fallen into that
Origins.
Assassin's Creed
Origin.
Jesus. Oh, it's been a long night.
Did you ever play that Batman game for the Genesis?
Oh man.
I had the Batman Forever game, and I don't think I ever got past like the second level.
Baby. No, Origins made me feel as if it was going to go into that Assassin's Creed issue where it's the same game over and over again, nothing new, nothing interesting. But Arkham Knight brought me back. I'm actually enjoying going through the city. I'm actually looking for Riddler trophies, which is something I never did.
Completionist stuff.
I'm trying to get completionist stuff, and oh my god! So being 2/3 through the game, I am trying to complete things, and then they's like, "Yo, you know all those tanks you thought you cleared out, all those bombs you thought you did? Here's 15 more that you wasn't prepared for."
Well, they're not just gonna fucking not set any more bombs.
I mean, but come
they're
on,
bad guys.
But I don't know how. It's been out for a while, so no spoilers.
Oh, you can go ahead. It's been out.
We already said last
we gave
week.
the big reveal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So I got to the point, which I know is not the end, where Barbara died. Not Barbara.
Oracle.
Oracle.
Yeah. Oh,
Or-
that far from the ending.
Huh?
That's far from the
Is
ending.
it far
I
from the
believe
ending?
it, yeah.
Jesus Christ. I've been putting in some time, yeah, but she died, air quotes that you can't see on the
Air
podcast. And so that's the last bit of. I'm enjoying Joker way more than I thought I would. Just the fact that he's messing with Batman
Well,
constantly.
his normal thing is like mind fuck. So the fact that he literally
He's literally
is
in your
a mind
head?
fuck, like it is pretty
Did you
cool.
see Did you get to the flashback where?
the Flash?
Oh wait, who was it? Oh no, when she died, doesn't he like walks in front of you to like cover up the gunshot?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like so he's like censoring Batman's point of view too.
Yes. It's I'm trying to articulate everything because I don't know what's going to happen. I know the big things that Barbara may not or Oracle may not actually be dead.
No one ever died. Like fucking Bruce Wayne's parents are fucking still alive. And,
I
like,
can't wait
every
for the
time
next
you
one.
think someone's dead, they come
Batman,
back.
what really happened is like, oh, son, who do you think has really been who do you think actually owns Wayne Enterprises? You've been going around.
Somebody has to run this business. Like, what's wrong?
You have spent an absorbent amount of money.
You didn't even get a bachelor's degree. You just went off to the mountains.
You think your butler was doing all this? Which is something that needs to be explained. How Alfred actually raised Bruce and still works for him. That bothers me.
That's how. Well, that
gotta
honestly,
watch
that's
Gotham.
how. Well, not like that's
Oh, I'm not
how.
doing
Like
that.
English butlers, like the fraternity, like the actual ones
Mm-hmm.
that are like trained. They're taught to like you raise most of the time when you have a butler, the parents are usually not exactly like or
There.
if they have to nanny, so they're trained to raise and still have the subservience of I work for you, like to the point where they're still allowed to say no to ridiculous requests, like if the
Right.
kid's being a retarded kid or something like that, but they're not. They're still like I'm still your servant, even though blah, blah, blah. So that's just general.
I need to get
that's
British
butler
butler
lore.
rich. One day, that's gonna be my goal. I'm going to double down on everything I have and just get me a British butler for one day, just to see what it feels like to have someone who says no.
I mean, you can
And then
probably
you
do that for
become
like
Batman.
$100.
That's you
Oh,
just
yeah.
become Batman immediately.
become Batman, but I like my parents.
Well, that's a
Well, I'm
sacrifice.
sorry,
you
they
gotta
have
make.
to die.
But that's
You rolled the dice.
If you really want this, your parents are going to have to die. I know an alleyway. We can make it quick. I got flowers.
and I don't like bats.
Is that Daredevil?
Bats
Forget.
scared me. Oh my god. But that's where I am with Batman. Trying to get through most of it. I felt like I was 2/3. I guess I'm not that far into the game. I think there's like 1 or 2 islands I still can't bring the Batmobile into.
Why?
Because
I mean, the thing's a fucking. It's a
mini
tank.
tank?
Do I have
and
to
a
say it?
plane.
Do I have to say it?
Yeah.
This isn't a car.
dun, 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 dun. Every time I hear that, I just think of that meme.
Mortal Kombat.
Really?
Sugary tomato paste. Processed cheese.
Combo breaker. Fatality. Bane.
Completely unrelated. Saw some actual good Banes this Halloween.
Really?
Guys who actually have legit muscles.
Are we talking about like Nolan Bane or Tim Burton Bane?
I saw.
That was Joel Schumacher, Bane. He was the director for that movie, the one you're thinking of.
I thought Tim
and
Burton
Robin.
did the
No,
two
Tim
of them.
Burton did the first 2. He did Batman and Batman Returns. Joel Schumacher did Batman Forever and Batman and Robin.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
I saw a ridiculously good Batman Forever one. One that was actually like his bulk was like fat bulk, where he was like just a tree, like an upside down tree type, skinny legs, really broad shoulders.
Okay.
That just kind of
Upside down tree.
triangle down.
I
I don't know.
Like
I
someone
really like
skipped
that.
leg day.
Dude's a beast, but he can't do leg exercises.
I have normal legs and baby legs.
No, it's regular legs.
Regular legs, that's right.
Baby legs, we're teaming you up with regular legs. I don't need a partner. I'm good on my own.
What's the noise he makes? He's like,
This is how I make when I run.
By the way, the king of most overdone costumes will be Rick and Morty.
Ben was
yeah,
here yesterday as Rick and
Ben
Morty
was
with his
Rick,
girlfriend. It was great, though.
They're great.
I mean, but yeah, I figured that was going to be popular.
I thought it was gonna be that or Eazy-E, but it was Rick and Morty.
Did you guys see Heidi Klum's thing? She went as Jessica Rabbit. And it had like full on prosthetic face so that they could make her like, eyelids raised up like hers. And then she had like giant fake boobs and a giant fake butt. And it's like
Heidi.
ridiculous.
Must be nice.
Must be nice.
Must be nice.
You can't do it. I'm sure it's like rock solid though.
Excuse me, folks. I have to go on the internet for an hour. I'll see you.
It's kind of terrifying and kind of turns me on.
Oh my
Anyways.
god, this is terrifying as crap.
See, Lamar's already there.
Oh man.
Anyway, back to video games. You know what this podcast is loosely based on.
Someone's listening right now. Like, I want to hear more about Heidi Klum.
So it's like, wait a minute, they're finally talking about something I gave a shit about. This is where our listeners tune out, is when we stop tangenting. I have been playing the Uncharted collection. The Nathan Drake collection. By
So
Naughty
you,
Dog.
you say you've been doing some charting?
I've been charting the Uncharted area. Well, to be fair, these areas that he's at, I get the game's called Uncharted, but they're all charted territories. We're not filling in the dark corners of the map like in fucking Pirates of the Caribbean. We're like, okay, you're clearly on an actual island somewhere. And here, okay, so if you ever played Uncharted, I know you haven't played it before, but you've played Uncharted, right? So it amazes me that it takes Nathan Drake's keen mind and super attention to detail in his journals and all the shit that he looks up to slowly discover how to get to these places. And somehow the bad guys are always right there waiting for you. So you're like, oh, cool. I just found a hidden door that nobody knew about ever. I'm going to open it up and walk in. how are there people in here already? And if they want me to get this treasure so bad, why can't they? Clearly are able to do it themselves because they all get there right at the end.
Well, it's just they have so many bad guys. They just all land on an island and they say, "All right, chaps, you go there, you go there, you go there."
they cover it with fire.
You ever asked the bad
Eventually,
guys,
he'll
like,
find
I
out
have-
where it is,
I have
and
no
then we
idea
kill
how
him.
we got into this temple, but we're here.
But Uncharted is a console buyer, in my opinion. If you have played it at all, you'll understand what I mean. We're loving it. Like Tomb Raider, it's platforming. But it's such a great, rich storyline. They do have multiplayer in the second, third, and now fourth one, but it's single player focused with a multiplayer after effect. So though you won't be getting DLC for story mode, you'll be getting that for multiplayer. I'm fine with that. I'd rather you finish the game that I wanted to play, since I don't really play multiplayer for any of these games most of the time. But it's such a rich storyline. It's all based on actual historical facts with a little twist of supernatural in each one of them. So you're looking for Nathan Drake's. You're looking for El Dorado in the first one, because I've played them all, but I'm redoing the first one, and you're going to find it, and it's like slowly some guy's like, oh, how is one guy taking out all your men? Which is funny because you're literally killing legions of people. It's the one guy, the one man army complex that a lot of these games have, where it's somehow this one guy kills 100,000 of people.
Thanks, Rambo.
That are all highly trained. So yeah, it's the Rambo prophecy.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, how is it that this guy, somebody even says it, how is one man taking out your entire army? They don't even have to be trained. There's 30 guys, they're shooting at one person, and he's able to come out of cover and headshot you while not doing anything. But the first one, I think it twists into I'm not, because it just got re-released for PS4, so I won't do any of the twists, because I highly recommend that if you haven't gotten it, to go get it. It's a great deal, because picture The Last of Us remastered and Tomb Raider remastered. When they came out, they were $60, like a normal game, for a game that they didn't add anything to. So Uncharted 1, 2, and 3 have all been polished. I think they raised it up to 60 FPS too. And you're getting all three of these games for the price of one game. Where every time they remaster a game, they release it as a new one. I mean, why wouldn't they? I get it. Some people haven't played it. It's worth a new game. But if I'm not going to buy Tomb Raider just to see her looking cool, much more polished than she was before. But if they added something, whatever. But yeah, they said 3 games in one for $60. It's not a bad deal. I think the multiplayer is all active for all of them, so the servers still work. So it's even though it's a re-release essentially, it's getting us all ready for Uncharted 4, which is supposedly Nathan Drake's final chapter. Doesn't mean the series is over, but it might be, Nathan Drake's. It's even called A Thief's End. So, but as we know, and anytime we're told something's going to happen, it's oh, that's it for him. Except for just like the last Arkham game was the Joker's last game, and then he was entirely in the next
Indiana
game.
Jones 3 was the last crusade.
Yeah.
Halo 3, Assassin's Creed 4.
Yeah.
Just a little bit more about story on these games is you want to push forward. It's seamless chapter transitions, but you can replay chapters. So it's,
Sorry, it's how many Fast and Furious movies have said one last ride?
for one last ride, boys. But yeah, it's it's rich. If you're anything like me, you get really drawn up in the storyline. You're like, oh, holy shit, I want to find out this. I want to find this. Please let me get to the end of it. And they're cheap plays. It's 12 hours, I think, usually. It's a general action game length. Got a heroic difficulty mode if you want to do that, or brutal, I think it's called. And it's worth it to play it on normal. I play them on hard most of the time now, but if you want to play through the game just to get the story ready for yourself, play it on normal. Who cares? Just fucking don't get the trophies or whatever. It's fine. Because if you want to play through, people have said this before about the other ones. They're you don't need to play the first Uncharted game to get into the second one. And I'm yeah, okay, and I didn't need to see the first Transformers movie to understand that they're fighting robots. I get it, but maybe to wonder exactly how they came to be doing what they were doing might have a little bit of story on that. So I would suggest playing through all 3 of them. You want to get them through them quickly. If you put it on easy, I'm sure you could kill all 3 of them in a night. Well, no, that's not accurate at all. You could probably take a
You
week.
heard it here, folks. All 3 in a night.
All 3 one night.
Or
easy.
Matt will buy your game back for you. But yeah, I want everybody to get it, take a look at it. If you guys pick it up, any people who are listening, feel free to tweet us with your thoughts and reactions to it, because I worked on it. I designed the game, and I actually, Naughty Dog's built in this studio.
Right. That's surprising. They wanted to call it Naughty Cats because of the cat problem we had.
Right, but we gave him an ironic name instead. Okay, well, that's pretty much all I have for Uncharted. Brooke, we'll have your breath? Have you gotten a little...
Yeah. As long as we're talking Indiana Jones style
Platformers.
Segway.
But first,
segue.
first though, I do want to jump back to Halo really quick because I forgot to mention that. No questions. If I wouldn't know, what are you gonna say?
I just
okay if
want
I
to
jump back really quick?
No, speaking of segues, if you're riding around in public on one of those douchey little fucking handleless segways, you are the biggest piece of human garbage I've ever... I saw some dude. Sorry, this is just a real quick tangent. I saw some guy the other night because they have underlighting on them. It was nighttime. He's on the sidewalk and he's just like this. If you can't see it at home, but he's doing the superhero pose, rolling down. And I'm like, you are just such and they go slow. It's not like you're going. It's
Slightly faster than
Yeah.
one.
So
Slightly faster.
sorry, that was just speaking of segues.
Fair enough.
So go on.
What was I saying?
Halo 5.
Okay, I forgot to mention really quick that the Halo 5 campaign gameplay has changed because now it's all team-based. So it's meant to work with if you want to do co-op campaign. But if you're playing by yourself, you do have a team of 3 other Spartans with you. And my intestines are making all kinds of noises right now. I hope it's not getting picked up right now.
We just turn
I have to talk really quickly. So that was one of the big new things, and then the other thing was that when you so with their AIs when you're playing single player, of course, then you can direct them around and have them target an enemy. So that's kind of cool. And then when you die, as long as you're not blown up or disintegrated, if you just get shot and you fall down, you have a little window like in the Call of Duty games where your teammate can come run over and heal you, and you get back up and get back in the fight.
Also, they stole the Gears of War method.
Oh yeah, that's what I was thinking. Gears
That,
of War.
a lot of games give you the little buffer where help your friend out.
Will your AI save the player character?
Right. And so I love to run ahead too, so I die and they're way the fuck back there. I'm like, God damn
They're
it.
not coming.
But yeah, so anyways, moving on, I beat Tomb Raider, the
Yay!
2013 game that I was very skeptical about last week because apparently I hadn't gotten to the good stuff yet. I fucking loved it.
Yep.
Once I got into it,
Yep.
it was a lot of fun. And that's it for me.
What did you think about the do you think that it adequately sets up a good sequel? Because Rise of the Tomb Raider is coming out soon. You're going to be able to get it. Fuck anybody who doesn't own an Xbox because Square Enix says, you know what? We're going to give it to you a year and a half after Xbox gets it. And I'm like, well, fuck that. I'm buying Brook an Xbox.
Boom.
But then I went out and bought an Xbox.
And then he bought an Xbox for himself.
You were never going to buy me an Xbox.
In here,
I think it does set up fine for a sequel. I am interested to see if they address or how they address the fact that, like you said, she murdered 100,000 people by herself.
Again,
How she was just this sweet girl that didn't know what she was doing, and then she ended up on an island where she had to kill everybody. And
strangely okay about it.
yeah, she's not as fucked up about it as she probably should be. And starting the game with rebar through your fucking body and just being now I'm gonna zip line through trees and I'm gonna go take on a fucking army.
I was hoping in the same thing too. I was like, how are there this many bad guys? Am I actually killing all these people? They just get up and go oh well, go find her in this other place over there.
You're just knocking them out. That's it. They're oh God, again.
He's asleep.
Where's Calendar Man?
I don't kill.
But you thought it was a great game.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I love the pacing when it got to things where like the whole fucking building's exploding around you and you got to jump over this and that, and that was a lot of fun.
Uncharted and Tomb Raider both had a lot of that, like, you need to run, your building is on fire and collapsing, or something like that. Yeah,
Move right now.
So the energy of it was great. I liked the supernatural bit that they had towards the end. I wish it was in there a bit more because that was fun.
Sammy! Dean. Sorry, it's just Supernatural.
Supernatural reference, ladies and gentlemen. Supernatural reference.
I can't.
Sam!
Oh my god.
Everybody talks like robots in that show. Everybody like Misha Collins talks like this. Sorry, this is not a super. You tune in for my Supernatural podcast. It comes on right after this.
Just stay on the same channel.
I'm literally not even gonna stop record. We're just gonna record it at the end of this podcast. Just fast forward to the end.
But that's all I got.
Yeah, I mean, Tomb Raider was a great game. I don't think anyone has anything bad to say about it. They did really well with it. They polished it. It worked really well. I like how a lot of games are doing the whole let's have a little bit of almost believable supernatural stuff happening. Like where they're like, okay, maybe not fucking ghosts and things possessing people from the grave, but okay, a little bit of a weird monster thing or some shit like that.
That would be my only critique of Tomb Raider because when I played it, the supernatural kicked in at like the last hour or 2 hours. I'm like, what happened?
Uncharted does it the same way. At the end of every game, it's like the last two chapters.
It threw me off that too because if you're gonna have a supernatural in a game, for me, can you give me small hints? Like
give me a little something.
Because then all of a sudden, magic, bitch. And
well, they had stuff in Tomb Raider where it's like you're like behind a wall and you can hear the enemy soldiers like, what the fuck is that? And this thing goes, and just like smash, and you're like, what are these things? And they're just giant.
I forgot about the end. That's where you fucking.
They're just giant Japanese warriors.
Yeah, I'm like, what? It did go. I totally forgot about the end. I'm like, it did really take a turn.
It went from 1 to 100 real quick.
It's all 100.
It's all 100.
Okay.
I'm sorry. All right, so that's Tomb Raider. I mean, again, it's another... You know what? I'd constitute Tomb Raider also because at the beginning you were involved in some sort of a...
Cave-in!
Oh, my God!
Yeah, baby. Cave-in. Cave-in. It's a cave-in. What cave-in? What? It's a cave-in. Means a good and a bad game cave-in. What? Yeah, that's great. Isolate that.
Oh, no.
Anyway,
now I got heartburn, too.
Lamar, would you consider Spec Ops The Line a cave-in?
Oh, my God. You know what's terrible? There's multiple cave-ins in Spec Ops The Line, so yes, it's a cave-in.
So now there's been a third... There's been a third classification added to the cave-in. Actual cave-ins. So it's a good game, it's a bad game, or there were just a lot of cave-ins.
This game is nothing but a cave-in. I guess I'm replaying Spec Ops The Line. This will be my third time going through it, and I still need to reference a number of important parts of the game. Jesus. Back Up the Line got released in 2012. It is technically a third-person shooter, but it's one of those third-person shooters that feels like you could easily be a first-person.
Is it like how in like Elder Scrolls most people play in first-person mode, but because it's clunky to play in third-person mode? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, the only reason why it's in third-person mode is because there is a cover-based system.
I thought you were going to say cover bands.
No. If you play Gears of War, you're familiar with it. It has some of the Call of Duty... Because in the game you control three guys from this Delta Squad named Guy 1.
Bob. Steve.
Walker, Adams, and Lugo. They're basically your three soldiers.
Lugo sounds like he has a dark side.
Yeah, you have Walker, who's your main guy that you control. Adams is your strong black guy. You know, he's heavy weapons. And Lugo is your sassy, jokester.
Sassy black woman.
No, he just makes jokes.
shit!
But anyway, for me, Spec Ops: The Line has the best story a shooter has ever had, ever. I'm saying best story of any shooter, period. Because the entire game, I know what I said, and I know I just lit Twitter on fire. But you have to bear with me.
There's no possible way that you lit Twitter on fire
Every
right now.
phone,
This has not
every
been posted.
computer is on fire.
Someone is tapped into the live feed of our recording.
What did he just say? Whatever did just wrong.
Hey, but you know what? Haters gotta hate.
Haters gotta hate. So basically, the reason I say it is because it's a shooter that focuses solely on story. There's a multiplayer, but it was feels like it was worked on after. Okay? So the game can be split up into three main parts of the story. You have a prologue. You have a prologue, which is basically you are turreting down some helicopters in a helicopter, and you obviously crash. That's the first 5 minutes of the game. You guys are in the helicopter, and you obviously crash. It's not a question or anything like that.
I'd like to disobviously crash.
No.
Where we crash and we just don't realize it. We're like, oh, we're
Play
still in the
any
Wait,
Call
did
of
we
Duty
crash?
game where there's a helicopter crash. It's like, oh, you guys could have made it. No. These guys definitely, like, if you watch it, like, there's no way. There's no way. Act 1, basically, you're sent into Dubai, who is suffering a heavy dust storm, to find this.
Is the dust storm the main antagonist?
It's not Man vs. Nature, actually.
Okay, just checking.
Thanks for checking.
It does play a shit ton of parts. There's a lot of, like, you can use sand for traps. You can use sand to hide. There's multiple dust storms, but it's not the main.
You can blow it into glass and make nice glasses and
You
stuff.
can make beautiful decorative horse glass pony art.
Yeah.
No. Your entire mission is that you're going to find.
How come Spider-Man never tried to turn Sandman into glass?
He did, literally in that movie. Oh, no,
he-
Hobgoblin did.
You got them all. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Also, Spider-Man's not the smartest superhero.
Not only is he not, he's not
He's
the smartest.
like one of the smartest superheroes.
No, he's one of the.
No, he's billed as one of the smartest superheroes, but he's literally
Whatever player is playing him is doing a terrible job.
He
He's got some low rolls.
He doesn't want to kill anyone. And like, if you turn the dude into glass, I'm pretty sure that's it. Like, whichever
in that,
grain of
in that
sand
movie, if I'm talking about the movie, he tried to kill Sandman because Sandman was the guy that killed Uncle Ben.
Yeah, but he never
He tried
killed him.
to. He got all emo evil, and he poured water on him, and he was like,
Wait,
"Good
that-
riddance."
That actually happened? I always
Yeah.
thought I just, like, went insane for a second. And
No, you did. If you
No,
were
it was
watching
real
that
life.
movie, you did.
Good God.
Anyway, back to Spec Ops: The Line.
Sorry.
This has been the most tangents I've ever had.
No, Act 1 is basically.
Spider-Man 3 is a cave-in.
No.
It is definitely
really
one
is.
of the definitions of cave-in.
Oh my god. I'll try to write this.
Cave-in!
No, you're sent in to find out what happened to some refugees and another militia. You find out that some insurgents have taken over, and there's a whole bunch of yada yada yada. Okay. So at the end of Act 1, I'm gonna say it now because I don't care. It's been out since 2012. You think there's a bunch of soldiers holding out in the bunker, so you shoot hot white phosphorus on top of these people, which is
Sexy.
terrible as it is.
All over their faces.
All
Hot
over their
white
faces.
phosphorus.
Hot
White
white
phosphorus,
phosphorus.
baby.
Unfortunately, it's a group of civilians just hiding out, trying to be safe and stuff like that.
Oh shit!
And then the player you play,
Well, they shouldn't have gotten in the way.
right? Just there. The player you play literally loses his mind. And so Act 2, which is great because when you're playing Act 2, the first time you go, you don't know that you're hallucinating. But he just sees stuff. He sees, he leads his two other guys to a bunch of dangerous things. He hears voices that is not there. And that's what's driving his entire thing. And his other two guys die in the process. And Act 3 is completely in his head. Like, the two guys on your team attack you. They blame you for their deaths. and then at the end you have to at the end of Act 3 you realize Act 2 and 3 has all been in your head. None of it's been real except for Act 1, and then and then you realize
that is weird for a shooter. Like, just to be like, okay, the whole thing is just a fucking.
I'm telling you, the game for the first act is just a shooter. It's a basic army man shooter, and then it gets really, really cerebral come Act 2, and Act 3 throws you for a mind loop. And you realize, and depending on what ending you get, because it's one of those games where depending on what you do at the end, depends what kind of ending you get. The true ending of the game puts you back to the beginning of the game. So there's many theories that this game is literally Walker's, the guy you're playing.
Yeah.
He's in hell, reliving his bad decisions over and over and over again.
Sounds like normal Wednesday for me.
I'm still thinking about fighting sandstorms.
I actually thought it'd be
I'm
cool.
thinking of fighting Darude for that goddamn song.
Since Spec Ops: The Line is the 11th game in the Spec Ops series, I think it'd be okay if they had the main characters fighting sandstorms. But yeah, so it's a cave-in?
It's the most cave of cave-ins.
Most caved of cave-ins.
It's the most cave of cave-ins.
Okay. I might come up with a counter on best shooter storyline. But as you were saying that, I could not think of a single storyline in a shooter.
It is on Steam. It is on Steam right now. I challenge you both to get the game and play it. And if you get through Act 2 and you don't say that this is the most intense shooter storyline that is not just about shooting, I will pay for the game for you.
I'm going to say that now,
Yeah.
regardless. you really did.
No. This is a rebate type thing.
showing all your cards
You have
too
to
early.
show proof purchase.
I'm like, you kind of gave us a great out on that one. So, okay.
Did you break something?
No, only my heart.
That's
Well,
okay.
that's fine.
You
We
weren't
don't need
using
that.
it anyways. So, most people don't realize that Minecraft Story Mode Episode 2 came out almost a week after the first one came out.
What?
Well, it's weird because Telltale games usually
That's
have like
the
a...
fast release Telltale
Well,
ever
what they
done.
did was it coincided with the physical game copy release date. So when the disc was released, they had the second one available for download. So basically, if you're going to go and spend $30 in this game, you at least get more than... Because I think I've been mentioning this. Minecraft Story Mode is unusually short per chapter versus like Game of Thrones, Borderlands, like Walking Dead. Like Walking Dead chapters were long.
Yeah.
But like, it's unusually short. I think you can bang out each one of them in about an hour.
Whoa.
But I was talking about this to you, but we didn't mention it last time, where let's say there's a normal Telltale games, you got about 2 hours maybe in their stories. So what they do is every chapter has a choice that if you make that choice, you are locking out going to a specific spot. So in the first one, I forget what exactly the one that there was in the first one, but there was you do this or do that. And if you choose that, you can't do this. But it's all stuff that there is. So it's like in the second one, which is a real prime example of what I'm talking about, you have the choice to go to this town to go rescue, to go try and recruit this person, or this town to go and try and recruit this person. And it's not just slapping a different skin on the town. They're two completely different stories. So if and when you play through it again, you can make the other choice. And it is that, so that whole hour is the hour that you're not getting her story. So I think that they're doing that on purpose. I don't mind it. Because it's kind of cool that I can get through it real quickly. Like the second one, I went to Boomtown, which is because if you play Minecraft online, they have they call you a griefer if you're like blowing people's shit up and like breaking their stuff. So this is a town just full of griefers, and so they're just running around. It's chaos. It's like they're throwing dynamite at you, and then they're trying to get. This like amulet that you have, they're trying to get that to give it to challenge the Magnus, who is the guy you're trying to recruit for the Order of Stone, and they're like, we stealing it from you. So there's a whole thing where it's like, hot potato where someone grabs it, then you get it from them, and it's like a lot of cool. Oh no, I fell, and now it's thrown up in the air, and you go for it. Someone else gets it, so it's really, but they're throwing dynamite at you at the same time. So it's actually really cool. I'm interested to see what the other one was about because that one was Magnus in the story is he's basically good at blowing shit up. Like that's his thing. Like he's the guy. He builds explosives and stuff. Nice. The other person was a redstone engineer, which is all the mechanicals kind of aspect of Minecraft. So the whole town is significantly different, like to where you go and get them, which is cool. So it's a must play. I love Minecraft and Telltale. I've explained this several times, so I really enjoyed it. Now you have two. I mean, we have another month and a half probably to go before episode 3, but you have two. Within it was almost, I think 2 weeks was when the first one came out and the second one came out. So yeah, it's a good game. I'm really enjoying it. I'll probably do a second. This is one of the few ones I'll do a second playthrough when I'm done.
Yeah.
Does Minecraft have that thing where Telltale is like, yes, you start, your choices branch out, but then it comes back in?
Well, that's what I think with this one, because I mean, okay, yeah. So yeah, I can go to Boomtown, I can go to the other place, but we're all eventually going to end up back at the place that we were all anticipating.
Okay, so it doesn't branch.
Like any journey, you're going to go on your own separate ways, but you're going to eventually meet up to continue the story and to get with your people. Gee, Brooke, why do you sound so relieved?
You know, it's the end of what do we say that it was?
October 2015.
But no, what you said earlier though.
The ending of October that recently happened. I didn't have an accurate way to describe it.
Recently happened.
For those of you who didn't know, there's a reason that it's a drastic change in how we were just talking. We may have had to pause the broadcast for a certain emergency. We'll just leave it at that. Brookie, can you enlighten us on any of that?
I feel much lighter.
There it is.
That was a shitty situation. Anyway.
Anyway, we're gonna be doing a new segment once
All my
a month.
female fans left.
All your female fans.
All my female fans.
Well, that's all the people who were liking our ad that we put up. It was only women were liking our ad, which is great.
Can I say just really quick what a baller move it was that girl came to the Halloween party last night dressed as Han Solo, and I decided to approach her by handing her my Han Solo blaster. That was better than the one that she had.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Play on, player.
It was pretty good. Trying to hook you up last night, but she left her. I guess she left and came back or some shit like that.
I don't know. This doesn't seem important now.
This is a little insignificant. Anyway.
It doesn't matter anyways because I couldn't even keep my head up straight by the end of the night. My parents would be so proud.
Yeah.
I was talking to my mom last week, and I was telling her, that we were doing the podcast, and it was last week's podcast. So I started the podcast by talking about Lara Croft's tits.
Yeah.
And my mom was like, I want to listen to your podcast. I'm like, you don't want to listen to my podcast.
No, you
I think
don't.
I said that to my mom the other day. She's like, I want to listen to Ma. I'm like, let me just explain it. We're not Facebook friends because you can't handle the things that I say on Facebook. I'm like, so you're not going to like how I talk about this podcast. We're going to start doing a new segment at the end of every month, or at the beginning of every month. So it is
the ending of
the
month
previous
that just
month
happened.
that
The
was
end of the
once.
beginning.
Yeah. So it is November 1st today. So we're going to do our top games for October. So each one of us, it's going to be a top 3. Each one of us is going to give our front runner for games. It could be something we already talked about. Realistically, it should be something that if we really think it's a top game, It should have been talked about this week. I'll kick it off. I'm going with Uncharted Collection for October because it's the best bang for your buck, and it is a wonderful playthrough, and you can kill it in time for the next game to come out. Brooke?
Halo 5.
Why?
I enjoyed it. I'm a diehard Halo fan. I have fun with it.
That's all
and for the letdowns I had with it, I still enjoyed it on the whole, in the whole.
Preparation H is
around
good
the hole.
on the whole.
Fissures.
And Lamar?
I'm really torn. I'm gonna have to say Rock Band 4 because I do not own Guitar Hero Live. Guitar Hero Live probably would win if I owned
Do you
it.
have Rock Band 4?
I played Rock Band 4.
Oh, I was gonna say,
don't own it.
I'm like, why haven't we played together?
Yeah. No. I'm a big fan of rhythm games. I'm feeling a little bit nostalgic, but I am so excited about the new peripheral for Rock Band for Guitar Hero 5. It has changed the game enough so that it is now fresh for me.
Fresh. That's our top 3. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. I don't know. I'm gonna put some music in over that. I'll figure it out. So
Oh, God.
we're closing up. We're coming to a close. But here's the thing. There's a good chance that we may not have any podcasts in the month of November.
Oh, no.
I highly doubt I'll be able to pry any of my slew of people that Brooke and I bring in to help us do the podcast away from their computer screens or their PlayStations, because Fallout 4, Battlefront 4, and a bunch of other 4s are all coming out this month.
Star Wars Battlefront, Rise of Tomb Raider,
Rise of Tomb
Fallout
Raider.
4, Call of Duty Black Ops 3, Need for Speed, freaking Assassin's Creed Syndicate for PC. This is going to be the new Xbox One controller.
Half-Life 3.
Hey, don't
Persona
even
Dance
joke.
All Night. This month is going to be terrible for my social life.
Well, let's face it. We're all doing this on the weekend. Maybe we don't exactly have the most active social lives out there.
Hashtag true.
But
I used to have a social life, and I started podcasting.
yeah, you'd be surprised the crazy hours that I keep in this business. But I will be glued. I have to make life choices this month, because I'm like, do I want to get? I know I'm getting Fallout 4. Does that mean I'm going to not get any other games until I'm done with Fallout 4? Realistically, absolutely. If I get more than one game this month, and it's going to be like it's up between Fallout and Battlefront, I'll be too. I have too much shit I haven't even gotten to yet, let alone the new stuff. Come on, sponsors, start sending us some games.
So, pro tip: if you're going to play any other game this month, play Fallout 4 last, because
It's gonna eat your
going
life.
to eat your life. You're going to have Battlefront on your table. It's going to collect dust, but you have to play Fallout 4 last, because that game is going to be bloody huge.
I don't even have any more to say about it, because there's too much to say about it. So we do have to wrap up here, folks. Brooke, is there
Real-
any final comments you
Real
got there?
quick, November 2nd, which is
Tomorrow.
when you're listening to this, probably.
Oh.
Xbox will be adding an update for Xbox Ones to add backwards compatibility.
Back cat.
So you can
PS4,
play your 360 games
I
on
think
Xbox One.
Yeah, PS4 I think
Started
something
with
like that, right?
Yeah.
But Xbox, that's gonna add a lot of value. Now we can go back and buy the Xbox 360 games or whatever. Not all games. Be aware, it's not all games. They're slowly adding compatibility for more and more games, but it's just like how PlayStation now has about 100 games on it.
Yep.
So we're wrapping up here. We gotta roll out. We gotta move on. I gotta set the month up for video games. Fuck if we have another podcast this month. I doubt it. We will have one next week. But as we say here, I like to get our guests involved in our little sign off, Brooke.
Well, where can we make sure they know where they can find us first? Of course,
In the man cave.
right?
It's in the title.
Well,
We
You
are all
can,
Matt.
you can find me on Twitter at Brook_33 on Facebook, or not. I don't want you on Facebook.
We are all Matt.
You can find me. We're not all Matt. Unless Steve is listening, then yes, we are all Matt.
It's like Hootie and the Blowfish, all right? No one was Hootie
You're
or
Matt.
the Blowfish.
You're
we
Matt.
are all Matt in the man cave.
We're all Matt. We are all man cave.
We are Legion.
Where's Freddy Krueger?
He's coming. He's gonna give us an out soon.
That was-
Anyways, Brooke,
I had
where can we
terrible
find
dreams
you?
last night. Just all night. You can find me on Twitter at Brook_33, on YouTube, Brook Hubs or Supa Fun 33. And watch my unboxing video. I shot it on my phone really
That's
terribly.
on the Matt Cave 42.
That's on the Matt Cave 42.
YouTube page
Well,
is
it
the
should
only
just be,
video we have
should
right
just
now.
be Matt in the Man Cave, but we'll add video
I think it is Matt.
eventually. Yeah.
Lamar?
Hey, I'm Lamar Harris, aka Do1 Afro Ninja. You can find me on Twitter, Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, Vine, all the social medias under DA1 Afro Ninja. Thanks for having me for the third time. Second
I'm
week
just gonna
in a
have
row.
you. Honestly, you schedule it. I'll have you on every week.
I guess I'll see you next week.
What you got me? I don't know. Don't bother following my personal Twitter because I don't use it, but it's Matt J House on Twitter. But you get the at the Matt Cave 42 and the Matt the Man Cave on Facebook. You know. I mean, you probably know where it is by now. But as we say here every week, I'm at the Man Cave, Lamar.
No.
As we say it every week,
No.
I'm at the Man Cave here, Lamar. What do
No.
we say?
No, I'm
What do we
not
say?
saying it.
What do we say? What do we say?
Say it. I don't remember. See you later. See you later. See you later.
Anal
See you
fissures.
later. Cut it. Anal fissures.
Anal fissures, avalanche, whatever.
Join us next week and we'll be talking about Xbox and stuff.